I'm Yolanda Rascoe, founder and organizer for Author Talks and also for GREO Creatives Masterclass Series. And I am here with NeNe Capri, and she is a best-selling author. She's a director, she's a filmmaker, and an instructor and an expert that we are bringing in for our GREO Creatives Masterclass Series. And I am thrilled that she said yes and that we're going to have her. So we're here just briefly to talk to you about some of the key points on why these Masterclass series we think are absolutely critical and why they are a necessity and why they are going to change your world. So let's start here. NeNe.
Yes.
Many people say they want to write a book.
Okay.
But then they never start. What do you think holds people back?
Wow. It's really comes to me all the time. People who want to do a book, they want to write a book, they have a book idea. The thing I think that holds them back is what I always tell them is getting it out of your head. That's the first key thing, is getting it out of here, getting it down on paper, into your phone notes, into your computer, whatever that is.
In other words, do something.
Do something. You got to make a move because you'll never get anywhere.
We're our own worst enemy. Question number 2. How important is reading for someone who wants to become a strong writer? And you know I'm very interested in this question.
Amen. Well, I always tell people I'm very well read and I read well, right?
Okay.
I've been reading since I was 2. My grandmother was a teacher. My mother worked in a school. I just went to school ever since I was a little girl. And being able to be well read, which means you read a lot. I have read thousands of books.
You read different types of books.
Different types of books.
And you're doing that to what end?
To all ends. Sometimes I have 4 or 5 books that I'm reading at one time. And I'm just going in them. I'm just asking for guidance from the universe or your prayers or whatever, because you're looking for what's for you. And some people don't go from top to bottom to a book. I know I like to go at a different rate. So get different genres of books. Immerse yourself. The more you see
and explore.
Explore. You have to explore. You have
be
to
curious.
Be curious. And you need to see the words on pages. And then you also study style.
Yeah,
because when you read a lot of books,
you're going to extrapolate the style of other people and learn new ways of saying the same thing.
Yep.
Okay, here's a question. When you start a story, okay, at the very beginning, where does the idea usually come from?
Well, because I am a creative, the world is my canvas. So anywhere I am, if I'm in a supermarket, if I'm in a parking lot, if I'm at a red light, there's a story being written in my head. The first part of the story is the characters. Who are these people that you're about to tell me about? Once you get strong in what you want to say and who those people are, they'll take over and they'll tell their story.
Well, I've heard that said before. That's why I always thought writers were really unique. It's almost like they hear things.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Well, listen, you've worked in both writing and film, which is, you know, a unique characteristic and trait and quality. What are the biggest differences? And you and I know you've talked to me about this, but people don't really know that there is a difference in writing a book from writing a script. Can you just give us 2 or 3 key differences?
Absolutely.
Okay.
One of the main key things in writing a book and writing a script, which I had to learn in the hard way, you try to make the whole entire book, the whole entire film, and you don't have that same amount of space. You know, number 2 is you don't have the same amount of space to tell a story. Whereas in a book, I can write until the cows come home. I can do 100,000 words. I can part to it and I can give you all the descriptions, and I'm making you see what you can't see.
Through the words.
In film, it's called motion picture for a reason, because things are moving. I'm now showing you everything. And I don't have that much time. I don't have 5 or 10, 15 pages, because on film, 1 minute is a page.
So for one thing, it's going to be far more concise.
It's far more concise, yes. So you got to be able to know where to cut and chop and
that's
paste.
Where your editing comes in, and people who are experts like yourself who is going to rewrite that manuscript so that it can be marketable as well.
Absolutely, because the market might not be telling those types of stories right now, and that's something people don't understand, why that stuff might not be successful, because you have to understand where the market is at.
Well, let me ask, today writers have access to tools like AI.
Absolutely.
And how can writers use technology to support their creativity using AI without losing their voice?
Absolutely. I would say, again, first, find your voice, find your storyline, find your characters, have everything laid out as far as how you want to tell a story. And then inside of those prompts, you're really asking them to help guide you, right? Help me set up an outline, right? Help me set up which direction I need to tell the story in, to make sure that all these points I gave you, that's the real point of ownership. When you talk about IP, and why the conversation with the WGA and SAG is about this AI world, and how are people going to get paid, and what is this intellectual property going to do?
It's a big deal.
Ownership. So having your original own ideas and just asking AI to help guide you, you know, like a tutor, if you will, that will guide you along so that you're putting the right things in the story.
But it doesn't replace you.
It doesn't replace you. It's helping to guide you. Yes.
Well, let me ask this most important question. How will classes inside the GREO Creative help writers get closer to their goals?
Absolutely. Well, outside of me, you know, writing my own books, they call me the Write Coach, and that is double of the word WRITE, as far as a Write Coach, and I am the Write Coach. We're going to come in here and take you from soup to nuts on what it is to write, and to write well, to be able to conceptualize your ideas, to be able to be organized, to set up the protections for your ideas. Sometimes we get all excited and we run out there, we're putting things up, but are they safe? Are they protected? Do you have yourself on all sites where you can be available? Are you availing yourself of social media and marketing? But we're going to take you all the way through. And then if you want to go to film, once you have gone from the book platform and understand what writing is and how to deliver, we're also going to be able to give you those key tools that you need. We work inside the industry. We work with indie artists, as they call it, guerrilla style shooting, where we're out here, you know, one camera trying to get all the angles, and then we're on big sets in Hollywood, where your $1 million budgets are at conversation for projects. So we understand both sides, and we want to find that middle for you, so you can get those things done, well written, well crafted, with all the Hollywood mandates and everything that you need to have inside of that, so you can be successful and take your products out to the world.
Well, I love that whole story, because most of the time when it comes to having an idea, it doesn't mean that that idea can cross the finish line. You have to have a team. You have to have support.
A coach.
You have to have inspiration, because we get stuck, don't we?
We do.
Along the way. And part of being in a community like GREO Creative's Masterclass Series is that we will hold you and walk you all the way across the finish line. So be sure to subscribe. Be sure to select the free classes just to get your toe wet and get a taste for what it's like. And we'll see you soon.
Absolutely.
Not bad.